Okay. I wanted to take some time to address a few topics that kind of pertain to our company. And it's been a while since I last had an update for everyone. So I thought now would be as good a time as any to kind of give an overview of where we are today as a company, and in some ways as an industry as a whole. To kind of go back to where it all began, we launched this company in 2021 in the height of COVID when nobody could actually find CDL drivers. I mean, you couldn't get trucks. Freight rates were through the roof. Everyone was losing their mind when they couldn't get their toilet paper. Um, Most companies were forcing their team to work 70-plus hour weeks, and it was just go, 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 go. And we built a company that went like polar opposite direction. And we tried to carve out a tiny little niche in this industry by offering professional drivers an option to continue working in their chosen profession without one, living in a truck, or two, working 6 or 7 days a week. And our offering definitely wasn't for everyone, but it worked out really well for some of our team members, and it gave them the work-life balance that was really difficult to find in the CDL world. And we've been trying to, work on that ever since. We now fast forward about 4.5 years since we started, and we find ourselves in a pretty different market than back in 21. Most of you have been in this industry for a while and you know the ups and downs of it, probably better than I do, but everything is cyclical, right? Currently, the market is not in great shape and has a few challenges going on. To start with, everyone kind of overcorrected during COVID. Um, when you couldn't get trucks and everything, it was taking, you'd put in an order and it would take a year or two in order to get the truck. Everyone started putting in their orders, and we started like recruiting heavily for new CDL drivers. And everyone was trying to gear up and grow and everything. Um, Fast forward till now, and all the truck orders came in, and now we have not only a surplus of trucks out there, we have, in some ways, a surplus of qualified CDL drivers out there. Um, the second part to the current equation is that there is a tremendous amount of economic uncertainty out there right now. And a lot of that is due to just changes in policy and the tariffs, and the long-term effects remain to be seen, but in the short term, we are seeing businesses as a whole kind of contract, and they don't know exactly what the future holds. And so a lot of businesses have been pulling back from the market, so to speak, and as many goods aren't being shipped. We see this both with businesses and we see them with consumers, namely Amazon consumers who they're just trying to save more of their money because no one knows what's happening right now in the greater scheme of things as the world kind of changes. So, what we have is a lot of carriers in the past year, both large companies and small companies, have gone out of business or laid off good portions of their team or shut down specific divisions within their company due to the stagnant market conditions. And while things aren't great right now, there's also quite a few rays of sunshine that I think are coming over the horizon. And we're going to keep moving forward and looking at those. For me, one of those rays of sunshine that I've been seeing lately is staffing. Um, the past 5 months have been the hardest we have ever been through as a company with regards to staffing, and also in a lot of ways with regards to our overall metrics and performance with Amazon. Um, it's been rough, and I think it would be like I need to take a moment and I need to say thank you because many of you have stepped up and helped us close the gap. You've taken extra shifts, sometimes at a moment's notice. You've worked solo two when you were solo one, or vice versa. You've worked solo one shifts when you're a solo two driver. We sincerely appreciate your efforts in keeping us moving forward and helping us serve our customer, Amazon. And we hope that you enjoyed the OT because we certainly enjoyed fulfilling our contractual obligations. Um, we've been working diligently to get caught back up as a company. And I am happy to say that after months and months of just pulling teeth and struggle. We are now almost fully staffed. We have a stronger flex team than ever. And this is the flex team that allows us to continue operations when we have people on vacation, when we have people taking care of family members, when we have people taking, everything that life throws at us, right? Our flex team is what's carrying us forward as we move forward as a company. Additionally, we have had an influx of candidates lately, and it went from like radio silence to now we have way more candidates than we have openings, and we're extremely excited about that, and we hope that the trend continues. Um, Another positive is that while it will be different from previous years, I'm happy to announce that we will be offering an after peak bonus this year as well. Um, it may or may not be well known, but Forward Group relies on Amazon to provide those year end bonuses that you've received in years past. In the previous years, Amazon paid out the company a per driver bonus, and we made the decision to pass that along to our team. Um, for those of you that have been around for a while, you're probably used to me. Usually, I would make an announcement a couple weeks before peak season, and I would say, "Hey, here's the base amount that everyone starts with every week, and then if there's any driver controllable things from there, we would deduct a certain amount if you call out for a shift or if you're late and it's driver controllable, things like that." Um, this year, Amazon has changed it up a little bit. Um, they essentially they've gone away from a per driver bonus, and now they have gone towards a per contract bonus. And additionally, any type of carrier misses, i.e., dropping a route or not, correctly finishing a route, or any type of carrier controllable event, they're deducting additional money from the bonus that they're paying out. So we don't even know exactly how much Amazon is going to contribute to the bonus this year, but we know that it is substantially less than they contributed in past years. Um, with that being said, I have been working with our accounting team to see how Forward Group can make up some of the difference and better support the team that powers this company as a whole. And I'm going to be posting the individual bonus amounts below because I'm sure you're all interested in seeing what we're able to do this year. And this year it'll be divided into different tiers, and that'll be like grouped and based on length of tenure with the company. So for those of you that have been around since the beginning, while this year will not be as lucrative as previous years, but I can honestly say that I'm still grateful that our partner Amazon is continuing the program. And I'm happy that Forward Group can kind of step up and help close the gap there as well. So I ultimately see that as a ray of sunshine as well, that we are still able to offer something at the end of the year as an additional thank you and gratitude for the people that made it happen and brought us through. Which brings me to my next topic, which is pay. If you are with this company for our pay, then I don't know what to tell you. I have definitely seen companies that have abusive pay, especially towards newer drivers. But pay has never been the driving force behind Forward Group. But it is extremely important, as pay is how we take care of ourselves. It's how we take care of our families. Since the start, our company has essentially used its growth. We had rapid growth in this industry, and we've used that growth to provide raises by reinvesting additional profits from a growing fleet to continue to grow our team's compensation and benefits. In the past 2 years, we haven't grown, and we eventually reached a point where we couldn't continue to give raises without additional revenue coming in to support the additional revenue going out. And I made the difficult decision to temporarily suspend raises. So currently, I am working with our accountant to close out 2025 and make our budgeting forecast for 2026. And while I don't have enough information quite yet to make an informed decision, I can say that I do believe that this pause is temporary And we still have full intentions on getting back to where we were and reintroducing raises as a normal part of the program as soon as possible. But I don't have an exact date yet because I have to understand where we are to keep ourselves continually viable as a company and make sure we don't overextend ourselves. Uh, we need to find some growth, though, and additional work to help us fuel those raises. And I could also say that when we reintroduce them, there will be caps for each style of work. And i.e., solo one versus solo two, we have to make sure that we keep everything within the program and within balance. Um, I know this is a big deal for our entire program. It is a big deal for me as well. And I don't really know another way to say it other than we are temporarily suspending them, but it is temporary, and eventually we will get back to where we are able to continue our team's progression, because obviously you all know that life isn't getting any cheaper, and we are still working to find the balance of staying, you know, in business, supporting our customer and supporting our drivers, and keeping that ball somewhere in the middle of that triangle. Um, as we transition past 2025, I can see the outlines of a new path for growth, but it is not through growing in additional contracted trucks. It's really through increasing our fleet utilization. And I want to be super clear about this. Amazon is not in jeopardy of taking contracts away from us. Contracted blocks are not going anywhere in this program. What I'm talking about is getting better use out of our existing trucks that stay on the road maybe 40% of their lives, while sitting idle in our yard 60% of their lives. I mean, our nighttime trucks are doing nothing during the day, and our daytime trucks are doing nothing during the night. So, increasing our fleet utilization is the way we are going to grow as a company. Amazon has recently begun offering new work opportunities that we can adapt our business to, and we can start growing our business again. While we're still proceeding cautiously and we absolutely do not have all the answers, I can say that I am excited that I consider this like the first real chance that we've had to grow in quite some time. I mean, we had a temporary stay in Kentucky, but that was for, about 10 weeks. It wasn't prolonged growth. And I see this as the first real opportunity we've had for prolonged growth in quite some time. And it is that growth, the prolonged, sustained, planned growth, that we use to fuel compensation, additional compensation for our team, for additional benefits for our team, and to help pay for company events and whatnot in the past. Um, Additionally, we are looking into and working with Amazon on how we can provide additional overtime opportunities for the team members that are looking for them and want to help us capture additional work. Some of you want nothing to do with it, and that's fine. But we've got other drivers who are constantly saying, "Hey, if you've got extra, like come to me. I'm here. I'm willing." The single best way to get more work with our company is to be flexible in your availability, both in terms of work style and start times, as this lets us capture more of what Amazon is hauling. Amazon has 24/7 operations, and the more we can cover that 24/7 timeline, the better we can capture whatever it is that their needs are, and the better partner we can become to Amazon. Um, we also have several initiatives that we are currently scheduling out, and I want your feedback. I look forward to hearing your feedback on the events that are coming up. I mean, we want to know what adds the most value to your life. We want to figure out what helps us best communicate how we're doing as a company, where we're crushing it, where we need to focus. Um, we will be implementing starting in 2026 Q1, we'll be implementing mandatory company-wide meetings on a quarterly basis. And this should help us stay in closer communication with our team. We also want to have monthly call-in meetings where we can discuss essentially whatever is on your mind. We've tried the call-ins in the past, and we had essentially zero participation. But I know that we have so many people on our team that have never hesitated to let us know exactly what there was on their mind, and we want to provide an official forum where you can talk to us. And a lot of you struggle with the same challenges. Some of them are operational, some of them are directed at Amazon, some of them are directed at the company. Whatever it is, we want to get better as a team about providing the right platforms for us to come together as a team and talk about the good and the bad. Um, we also want to continue our Maple Street Biscuit Company meetings. And if you've never been to one of those, I don't know what to tell you. The biscuits are really good, and you can just block out whatever it is I'm saying. But sometimes we don't even talk about work. It's just a great way to meet other, members of the Forward Group team. And we're going to be getting that going again in Q1. We haven't done one for a couple months now, but we want to not only vary the day as we have in the past, but we also want to vary the time that we've been having these meetings because we want to be able to have additional drivers have an opportunity to come to these things so that we're seeing more and more of the team. Um, we want increased participation from the team because the more we can get everyone involved, day cab, sleeper, daytime, nighttime, in between time, flex team members, the more we can learn about what we're doing well as a company and where we need to focus. And obviously, if you've ever asked me questions or talked to me in the past, I do not have all the answers, nor does our administrative team. But I'd like to think that we are always willing to listen, even if we don't have an answer for whatever the current problem is at the moment. Sometimes we can get back to Amazon, and sometimes we've changed things, and other times we haven't been successful in changing the program, but it's always good to have the feedback. Um, 2025, if I'm being honest, has been an extremely difficult year for myself in some personal ways and also as a business. It's just, I feel like there's been a lot of change in the program, and I feel like it's just been some of our darkest days. I talked earlier about a 5 month staffing shortage, which just immediately increases our stress levels. Um, and I'm looking forward to putting 2025 behind us for the most part. But there have also been some wonderful things that have come out of 2025. And we've brought in some, incredible new members of the team. We've gotten some people off the road that were, living in a truck for weeks at a time and making less money than they are here working 4 days out of every 8 days. And more importantly, when other companies are shuttering their doors or laying people off, we have not terminated a single team member because we're losing contracts or shrinking as a business. We're not growing like I would like to, um, but at the same time, our industry has become very stagnant over the past 2 years, and we we are not laying off people, and that stability is why I personally am here. And I see 2026 being a year where not only do we continue our stabilized block operations, but we also increase our offerings to our team and we get our feet back under us in so many ways. And we kind of get back to what I see that we are best at as a company. And that would be working to keep each other safe, working to keep each other compliant, and working to find the balance that keeps all parties satisfied and moving forward at the risk of being a little cheesy. Um, that is all I had to say right now. I know that if you haven't already watched the videos that John and Matt and Rob are putting out on their respective subjects, this is all key critical information that 100% affects how we work here and what our 2026 looks like because it takes every single one of the 60 team members that we have right now in order to keep this thing moving forward and keep supporting each other in what our job here is to safely move freight. and take care of our customers. So, with that, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys showing up and running reliable, safety focused operations. And I look forward to seeing what we can do together in 2026. Thanks so much, guys.